Alright guys, here's what we're working with. It's a everybody out type of day. Well, supposedly out. They're running back in. We'll get everybody out and get the coops clean. Get fresh straw in there. Get all this other odds and ends, bibs and bobs picked up around here.
Lingua's lucky day.
Yep, it's Lingua's lucky day. She got the leftover ham from Thanksgiving. She grabbed her a piece and ran off with it somewhere. But yeah, that Thanksgiving ham is no good for us, but it'll be just fine for her. I don't know where she went to with it. It's not like she has competition out here, but by any other dog. Oh, who was that came out a little rough? Oh, Blackjack. Here comes sunset. And my camera's foggy, and there's nothing I can do about it till I go and get it fixed. Cause it's just the lens exposed. Might even be because it's warm and then went to cold and it's got a little fog on it. So I can't wipe it off. Maybe with a Q-tip I could get to it, but that's about that. Look at that. I'm getting water, drinking off the box. No, it's fresh water. It's rainwater. That's about the cleanest water they got. But yeah, here's these guys. So I'm gonna get all my blue barrels gathered in one spot. Take these bags of compost over to the island to sit and break down. Fill up a couple more bags out of the coop. Break me up some leaves and throw them in some new bedding. Mix it with a little straw. I got a little bit of a square bale left. Throw that in there. Uh-oh, Lingua knocked him off the post, off the plank. Silly girl. Oh, Lingua. Oh, that's my girl. Hey, you're getting me dirty. Oh, she's a good girl. All right, down. Good girl. She's actually pretty obedient. Oh, she's running to go chase the homie. See where he went to. He went down to Crapper Cabin. And the ugly chicken walking a plank. So what does that make it? A chicken plank. 2 pieces of bread and then you got something. I love ugly chicken. It's just so bronze and copper, and then you wonder why is his name Ugly Chicken. Well, when they were younger, he got beat up in the flock, and so his feathers was all picked up, and there for a while he was an ugly chicken. So we isolated him, fed him up good, and brought him back to be a beautiful roux. He's a Buff Orpington. And these are 2 silly guineas. Noisy. I never knew how good a guinea could fly, but man, they can fly. Way better than a chicken. And there's poor Nomi. He does pretty good though with his little handicap leg. He and Booster had gotten into a fight. And so I put him in an isolation cage. Well, it was only kind of a downfall for him because then a raccoon or something come try to get to him. They obviously didn't get his life anyways, but they got to his leg and kinked up his leg, and then it just healed stiff. So he's got a little bit of a hobble. But yeah, so this lumber's gonna get stacked up. Do something with this post hole driver, get these solar lights stacked back up, pallets stacked back up. What's going on behind me here? Get the bags picked up, cleared up like I said. I'm going to refashion this chicken cage, which actually used to be a rabbit hutch run. Get that ready, and I'm going to bring some more chickens out. We've got some Dominiques and some gold stars. And I don't know what I'll do with this over here. Just rake it and get it going. I need to throw some straw in there, and then maybe the guineas will have somewhere to go whenever it's raining. They like to actually roost up here, whether it's raining or not. Silly guineas. Oh. Tripping over stuff. Here's another plank. This is going to be they call a conversation pit. It's kind of full of leaves now, so you can't see how deep it is, but you can see you got stairs going into it. Gonna dig it down, put a tarp over it, and it'll have a roof, and you can go down into it and have plenty of headroom, hangout room, and it'll be around the little fire pit here, which for a while was my kitchen. I cooked on this every morning and then stayed warm by it of the evening. And it's super deep, and I'll just burn a fire all night. And it'll have such a deep coal base that all I have to do is just stick a couple sticks down in it, and then they would get to going. So it's like a continuous fire. But as you can see now, I got some leaf soup going on. But that's the beauty of this right here. This aluminum pot, it don't rust, and it heats up very well. And then right down in here, I have a hole dug for my cooking wood and every stuff I've got trimmed down. What you want, girl? Or guy? Actually, that's ugly chicken. Oh, come here, ugly chicken. Okay, he likes to be. He likes some pets. Oh. The linguist's pushing up on me, trying to get some attention. And then theory in this pond shell is, aside from the fact that that's where I started storing all these stupid jugs, is the water flows down under the bridge, down and around. And then I want to hit this, fill this up, overflow, then continue on down and around and down to the pond. But this will give me a water reservoir right here, so that I will have some water right here close on deck. Going down. When first this was established, this was dug into steps, but then it got washed out, and now it's all just roots. And that's why we have the plank bridge over there, which will eventually become a better plank bridge. And you walk on down, water flows stream through here. And normally the water stops here and it's full, but I've got to clean my gully out and get a better stream of water. If you can see the water twitching, I've got a good population of minnows, which means once I start throwing me some bluegill and stuff back in here, I'm set. That's a food source for the bigger fish. And I have a couple of catfish in here. I'm sure they're still alive, but I don't think the bluegill have made it. I haven't seen them. Which doesn't exactly necessarily mean they're not in here. Oh, you got a massive leaf?
Yeah.
As big as your face?
Bigger than my face.
Bigger than your face. Yeah. That's a mondo leaf. And then this tree, all this log was a tree at the end of the island here. I'm trying to clear the island of all the trees and open it up to the sun because I'm going to grow on it. Since it's technically surrounded by water on two sides. Excuse me. Which means that I have good groundwater. Only problem is I don't have good soil. It's all sand. But I'm going to do a bunch of raised gardens and then just use this once this fills up as a water source. Come down, scoop buckets, and get all my mini receptacles full, and then I'll have plenty of water. I've got like 5 of these, so that's 55 gallons a piece. And 2 IBC totes, and I think they run 300. Yep, 225 to 300 gallons. So I'll have the water, and then here's the other bags of compost. And another big old pile of firewood. That's cooking wood for the island. Right here is the fire pit. But stuff is kind of gone awry on me, or whatever, how you want to say it. I got another term, but we'll keep it clean and polite. But yeah. And get all of this in acting order, and all my water filtered, and all my barrels gathering the water as they should be. Use one of these black tanks and hose and hang up in a tree in the sun so I get hot water, and gravity fed hot water. And then yeah, I mean that's about it really. For now. What about what? I can't read fingers. There's one finger I can read, and I ain't trying to read that. You have words in your mouth? Maybe not. And get all the old tents and tarps. I kept them because they're broken down and trimmed up. They'll make good tarps, and then the screens will make good screens. It's all usable material. I know I say that all the time, and then you're like, well, you don't use any of it. It just lays around. Nah, I use it. It gets used. Trust me. All this other stuff that you see built up and done, at one point once was laying around, or just gathered up in the back of nowhere. And also, all in due time. I'm not exactly in a big race to get it done, but I do have plans on getting it done. And then all this stuff appropriated, and this is going to be the herb garden. Because in the long game, there's going to be the house sitting right about where all this stuff is cleared out. So per se, this will be looking out the front door. You'll be able to see way up to the road and the drive, see visitors or intruders as it were. And you'll have a view of the pond right there once all that's out. And then that starts the herb garden / kitchen garden. So I'll have veggies and herbs just right outside the door. And then a view of the woods. But just have to imagine all these that stuff not there. All that stuff, all that, and then the blue barrels is all going to go to a water house system. I'll build me a water house with rain catchment and filtration system and whatnot. And one day, whenever that happens, I will make a video about that, and then you'll know when that happens. But until then, this is what we're working with. And there, look, I'll give a finger in here. That's the homie's tiny house. Look. And he's got him what we call the throne. He's got room for one nice big chair in there. Yep. Ah, so cozy. Oh, you can close this out, but you can't close this.
Yes, I can.
All right. Anyways, it's 16 minutes. That's long enough for me. Call it. Call it while you're crawling it. Deuces.
I gotta get out.
Later, y'all.